Thinking about taking your creative hobby to the next level and start selling your art? Wondering when is the right time? Or am I good enough? Lots of questions, concerns, and roadblocks getting in your way of following your dreams? Hi, my name is Diane Lalomia, and I'm also known as the Lone Zebra. I paint with watercolors and do digital design. I'm a bit of a rebel, so nothing about me is conventional. Fair warning. I did it, and you can too. Today I'll share 5 steps to get started taking your art from hobby to business. Why did I decide to start selling my art? Well, the need for a new greenhouse after the snow collapsed on my old one, the sale of several of my paintings, and a request for a painting that was really not for sale, or at least the original, I had painted for my husband. All directed me towards selling my art and selling prints and more. May 1st, 2025 is the grand opening of thelonezebra.com, my new online store. Just a little over a week away. Can you tell I'm excited? My art will be available not only as prints, but on merchandise as well. It's been a bit of a learning curve. It took some time, but if I can do it, so can you. What are you waiting for? Grab some coffee or tea and cheers. Check out the Lone Zebra mug available in my new store. I also have t-shirts, leggings, and more, and of course my art prints and photographs. Now let's have a chat. Let's sit down and talk about what I've learned along the way. Starting a business is a little like eating an elephant. You do it one bite at a time. Here's 5 steps that I'll be covering today to get you started. First, make a plan. Everybody needs a plan. You need to find a niche, and that niche is individual. It's what clicks with you. What can you identify with? Or better yet, you can identify your customers because you are one of them. Here's the 5 things to get you started. First, make a plan. Develop a niche and work on developing branding. Now that will come on time. As you develop your niche, you'll also discover what colors and fonts will work for that particular audience. Number 2, make a list. You'll need a list all the time to check off each task as you do it. Break your tasks down to smaller chunks until you've got them into 20 to 30 minute doables. Tasks that you can check off after 20 to 30 minutes. So you can get that little time that you have between the kids or the job or whatever it is that is your life, you can work around it and develop your business. Number 3, make inventory. Keep painting, creating, crafting, whatever it is you do, keep going because you're going to need the inventory. Number 4, create social accounts. First, you need to get an email business account, which is real easy for a Gmail account. You'll need that email account to set up your business social accounts. You'll want to have some social accounts as well. Get them going and start engaging online. Find community that you can get into, build, and be able to identify with and your niche. Number 5, which is really important, learn as you go. You don't know everything, not yet. And you know what? You don't know what you don't know until you get started. So don't wait until the perfect time when you've learned everything you need to know. You'll never get there. So jump in and get started. Learn along the way. Invest in yourself, the time and effort that's needed. Believe in yourself. You can do it. Avoid imposter syndrome. Remember that you are learning. You're not perfect. Nobody is. So get over it. If you're making progress, you're ahead of the game. Most people just dream and they never get started. You're already ahead of 80% of the population. What you don't know, learn. A lot of information can be found in YouTube videos. I learned a lot from other artists starting on their art business journey, and you can too. Thanks to Alex Goddard Art, that's Goddard, Maypack at Creative Hive, and so many others, I've learned a lot. And I'm still learning something new every day. I've learned so many skills on Skillshare too. They have tons of classes on not only art, but software programs, developing a creative business, and growing your social media channels for marketing. Lots of information and inspiration with Skillshare classes. I provided a link below for you to try it for 30 days, free. And if you do, I'll get another month for free too. Another consideration is, how do you plan to sell your art? Locally or online? DIY? Are you going to make it yourself, pack it yourself, ship it? Or are you going to do what's known as POD, or print on demand? Are you going to do originals or sell prints? There's all questions that you need to ask. For me, doing a POD online was the best choice. I didn't have room for inventory or the space or the energy to pack and ship orders. Setting up at a local art and craft fair wasn't really feasible for me physically, with my limitations of cardiovascular EDS. I planned to sell prints, and I didn't have inventory or the space to keep it if I got it. Setting up a booth and standing for hours was another consideration that really didn't fit for me personally. But you may decide that it fits your lifestyle perfectly. As a retired programmer, the obvious route for me was an online presence. But which one? I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and I got some brief overviews and comparisons, and then started with printing supplier for the POD aspect. I decided on Printful to start and set up a free account and start learning how to use it. Again, I watched a lot of videos on both YouTube and Skillshare to get me started. Printful only charges you for the products when you actually sell or buy their merchandise. There isn't a monthly fee, so this is where I began. If you're selling handmade items that you intend to pack and ship, what I call a DIY business, then you really don't need a POD company, and you can skip this step and go on to the money part. So, how do I collect the money, and how do I get paid? What's the easiest way to accomplish this without too many headaches? Those were the questions I asked myself. I also asked for help from my husband, because part of my problems is doing all this paperwork. The more paperwork I did, the less creative I felt. I just needed help. Don't be afraid to ask. So next, I needed to decide how to handle the e-commerce side of things. Shopify seemed to be the most popular choice with a lot of creatives. Use the link below to start, and you'll get 3 months for only $1 per month, $5 a month on your subsequent billings. I started this way for the first couple of weeks, and then I noticed that the $1 plan is a bare bones one-page website shop. There is only one theme on this plan, and to get more features, including a choice of themes, which there's over a dozen free ones, blog, and having separate pages on my website, not to mention the ability to group things into collections, add apps for email automation, and more, requires a commitment to an upgraded plan. The basic plan, which I chose, still gave me the first 3 months for $1 each month, and then $39 per month afterwards, or $29 a month if I pay annually. There are lots of YouTube videos on how to integrate the POD and Shopify program. there are plenty of videos for other markets such as Etsy, etc. too. I chose to do a doing business as the lone zebra, so I filed the necessary paperwork with the county clerk's office. The filing fee for me was $10. The cost and/or requirements may vary in your country or state, so check for your local laws on what is required to set up a business in your area. In the U.S., a taxpayer ID is required in order to keep your personal taxes separate from your business. This is called an Employer Identification Number, or EIN for short. Sometimes it's referred to as a Taxpayer Identification Number, or TIN. They're both the same thing. I do not have employees, but I still need to get the EIN number. It's like my Social Security number, but it's one for my business. So it goes from business to business if I do more than one. See, I had an EIN from a previous business I had 20 years ago. So I just had to update my information and get a copy sent to me in the mail. I needed this and my sales tax registration along with my DBA, and I was able to do this via online forms on my state's tax website. In order to set up my business bank account, I needed all this paperwork. It took me about 2 weeks to get back, so in the meantime, I kept painting and I cleaned and organized my studio. You'll have to check out my YouTube video on that one. I also planted my onion starts, some carrots, broccoli, cabbage, spinach, parsley, lettuce, and tatsoi seeds, just in time for another light snowfall in mid-April in northern Michigan. I mean, that's spring to us. It helped me to get away from all the business stuff and get outside for some much-needed exercise and sunshine on a day that actually felt like spring was just around the corner. Once I had all these forms done, I could set up the business bank account to do some online transactions. Once I did this, it was another week for my credit card, which I needed in order to set up my Shopify account for payments. I also needed my EIN number and copies of my sales tax paperwork and doing business as paperwork for setting up my bank account and setting up my Shopify account. Now it was time to develop a website and to make products for sale. I'm a retired programmer, and so I found the site intuitive, but I did run across a few challenges, mainly due to the limited $1 a month program that didn't include the usual website bells and whistles that I was used to developing. Once I upgraded, it was a lot easier. The limitations weren't there. It also got more involved, and if you don't have the skills for doing a website, well, there's always YouTube videos that will help you set up a Shopify store. That is one thing. The support and free online instructions were why I chose Shopify over the others. Don't get a program or something for your business that you don't have the proper support and instructions. It's really hard to get a real person online when you need help. Believe me. Anyways, I digress. I've spent the last several weeks putting together my website, and in the meantime, I ordered some product from Printful. One of the benefits of going with Printful is the 20% discount on 3 items every month in order to get a sample of your printed product and check the quality, both of the product and the printing. It's a great way to do quality assurance. These orders take about 14 days or so for delivery depending on the item, so make sure you allow time. You'll be able to take photographs of your merchandise for social media, and also you can wear them around town to help share your new adventure with family, friends, local and online communities. Each month you can order 3 more items at the 20% discount. You can also order any of your items at your wholesale price at any time, but the discount is limited to 3 items per month. At this point in time, I've done all the heavy lifting, so to speak. I've got my website ready, I think, but to be sure, I've asked for help. For the next week, I've invited several friends to visit my website to check for flow, no broken links, no template pages still showing, etc. The shop isn't actually open for business, so no transactions will go through with the password still in place. I've given them the password so they can look around and give me feedbacks next week when I see them again. I'll have 3 days after that to fix anything before the grand opening is scheduled. You may want to allow for more time. Well, this is where I'm at right now. Oh, I forgot to mention, you also need to order business cards. And don't make the mistake I did. I ordered them, put too much on them, and realized the print on the actual card was teeny tiny. I must have had my screen enlarged or something and the print looked right. I'll have to reorder, but I still have time. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, yes. This is where I'm at. So, painting these zebras and waiting for the big day, May 1st, 2025. My store, thelonezebra.com, will be open for business. My greenhouse is also scheduled to be delivered that day, and I'll be celebrating before my birthday, which is actually coming up May 15th. Did you know a herd of zebras is called a dazzle? When a lion, the zebra's main predator, approaches and signals danger, it causes the zebras to bolt quickly. An entire herd of zebras dashing about in the sun causes a vision impairment for the lion, whose eyes aren't as keen in daylight as they are at night. This flash is known to dazzle the lion and provide time for the zebras to get away, hence the name for a herd of zebras. All my life, I've been the lone zebra, and now I'm looking for the rest of the herd. Will you join me? Come on, let's dazzle together. Let's celebrate. Thanks for watching, and until next time, be blessed.
Yeah.